Toastmasters, we would like to start our meeting on time. My name is Fatimar Jones. I'm the Area Director for P1 and P6 and host for tonight's elective, Planning Your Pathways Designation. This session is being recorded and will be uploaded to the District 56 YouTube channel. You can look at it at any time you want again. But first, let's go over a few rules and protocols. We would like for this session to be interactive. Feel free to leave your video on, but please put yourself on mute unless you are speaking. Let's keep in mind our Toastmaster core values. They are integrity, respect, service, excellence. Let's remember those throughout this entire meeting. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our instructor, Zenia Ship. Zenia joined Pearland Toastmasters in January 2014. Since that day, she has been committed to her journey and to facilitating the journey of others. She has served the district as club sponsor, club mentor, and club officer trainer. She has served her clubs as president, secretary, treasurer, VP of Public Relations, and Sergeant at Arms. She is proudest of these three accomplishments. She received President's Distinguished for her area when she was area director. That was in 2017. She achieved her DTM designation in 2018. And wow, she received an award in the spring of 2020. She was awarded the Best Public Relations VP in the whole district. Today's training is a testament of Z's commitment to ensure all Toastmasters have the tools and resources they need to succeed. Please help me in welcoming DTM Zenia Ship, our Planning Your Path Destination trainer for this evening.
Thank you so much, Fatimar, for that wonderful introduction. And welcome to everyone to Planning Your Pathways Destination. I'm glad that you're willing to give up 1 hour of this beautiful Thursday evening to learn about how you can plan your pathways destination. Our objectives are that I will be giving you an overview of the Pathways Educational Program. I will explain how the paths are grouped, and you will be using the Pathways tracking chart to plan your Pathways destination. And if you've noticed, that little sign, it says the road to success is always under construction. And yes, that's because we're always growing, we're always improving and making things better. One of the first things I want to do is to share the difference between the legacy program and pathways. Some of you may be relatively new to Toastmasters and aren't aware that we did have a different type of educational program. And this chart pretty much shows you the difference between the two. But what I would like to highlight are the last two rows. The number of competencies available in pathways. There were 68 in the legacy program. There are now 300 competencies. The other great distinction is for the legacy program, we had 2 tracks, communication and leadership. And some may argue that, no, there were more than that, but basically there were really 2. It was communication, and you graduated to different levels in the communication track. The same thing for the leadership track. But notice in pathways, we now have more than 10, and my 11 is moved out of place. I must have changed something. Anyway, that 11 was supposed to be on top of the 10 to show that we now have 10 different learning paths tailored just for you. So now what I would like you to do is in your chat, I want you to go ahead and indicate some answers to these questions. And this is an effort for us to all know who is here with us. The first one is, which club do you belong to? If you'll go ahead and share that in the chat, that would be very helpful. Now, I'm having a minor difficulty because I can't see the chat information. What am I doing wrong? Let's see here. Oh, there they are. JSC Toastmasters, Toastmasters Houston, Seriously Speaking, PSST, Toastmasters, Lockdown Toastmasters, excellent. And if you're a member of more than one, go ahead and tell us all the clubs you belong to. Dining Out Toastmasters, Infirm Speaker Toastmasters, Talking Bull, HP and HPE Club. Ooh, another member from Lockdown, very good. HP Houston. The next thing I would like you to answer is, which paths have you enrolled in? And if you haven't enrolled in any, that's okay. Just tell us, I am exploring all of my different paths. Presentation mastery, very good. Someone who's exploring. Innovative planning, very good. Lair Toastmasters, one of their members. Oh, one member. Dynamic leadership, visionary communication, and motivational strategies. Wow, look at this one. Effective coaching, dynamic leadership. Still trying to find out. Hopefully by the end of this evening, you will know which one you want. Lee, as well as all of those of you who have not decided, hopefully by the end of this session, you will know exactly which path you want to enroll in. Leadership development, very good. The next one is, last but not least, is there any other objective you would like to learn outside of the objectives that I listed? Is there any burning desire to learn something else that was not listed in our objectives? And you can share that in the chat as well. Mentor program, very good. I will do my best. Okay, now most of us will recognize that you're not the only one in the path that you enrolled in. Leadership development, presentation mastery, innovative planning. If you want, you can go ahead and chat with that person separately and ask their opinion about how it's going, if they're having any difficulties, and just sharing your experiences. Here's another objective, how to utilize pathways to improve public speaking. Excellent. And I want to learn what makes speakers dynamic according to Toastmasters. That's an interesting question. And Pamela McCown says, where to find a list of 300 competencies learned in pathways. She's sharing that link, and hopefully I'll be able to show you exactly where you can find it as well. Very good. So let's move on. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And guess what? You have taken the first step to starting your plan. If you weren't here, you would just be wishing that you could enroll in a path. You would be wishing you would know what to do. And I have heard someone say that if it's not written, if it's not planned, it doesn't get done. I wonder who said that. Any ideas? If you know who has said that, go ahead and share it. I guess we'll find out later on. So Toastmasters, it's a learning experience, and like I said, 11 paths: dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning, leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication. Some of you may have seen this, and I have been trying to figure out how's a good way to explain pathways. And I have decided that metaphorically, you could say that the 11 paths are roads. It's the destination. Your destination is dynamic leadership. And you're probably in a 5-wheel car. Of course, it's not a 5-wheel, but you would have an ability to shift gears into 5 different shifts. And those would be your public speaking, interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, management, and confidence. And along the road, you're going to make stops at the different levels, and there are 5 levels. So looking at this chart, you'll notice that each path has the core competency that you will get in this path. So for example, with dynamic leadership, you'll get public speaking, you'll get interpersonal communication, strategic leadership, and confidence. But notice all paths have the number 1. They all have a public speaking component to them. And they all have the number 5. And the number 5 is confidence. And you don't really get trained in confidence, but because you practice and because you have gone through these 5 competencies, you will become confident. Notice that with engaging humor, it's just 1 and 5, because that is primarily a public speaking path. The same thing for engaging humor and presentation mastery both have the core competency of 1 and 5. All 11 paths have 5 levels. And the first 2 levels are exactly the same across all paths. They're all exactly the same. 1 and 2 are the same. As you move up to level 3, 4, and 5, it becomes specialized for that particular path that you have chosen. So the main thing to remember, even if you have 2 paths, 3 paths, all of those paths will have the same basic level 1 and level 2. There is a gentleman, George Marshall. He has taken the time to group all 11 of these paths into groupings, and they're grouped based on the leadership involvement. And I say the leadership involvement because they all require public speaking. So for example, in group number 1, focus on public speaking. What are the required projects? Speeches, their leadership projects, and the paths in group 1 are presentation mastery and engaging humor. What is the requirement for level 5? Longer speeches, an 18 to 22-minute speech. in both of those paths. Now, if you look at group 2, he's calling this group public speaking plus light project focus. You plan or you do modest projects. The paths in this grouping are leadership development, motivational strategies, and visionary communication. And the level 5 project is you have to plan and possibly complete a modest project. Group 3, same thing. Like I said, they all have a public speaking component, but in group 3, now you have moderate leadership. You create and develop plans with a team. The paths in group 3 are dynamic leadership, strategic relationships, and team collaboration. But now look at the level 5 projects. It's a little bit more detailed. 2 things: serve at least 6 months in a leadership role, and then club officer, committee chair, or an at work project. The final grouping, number 4, also public speaking plus substantial leadership. You'll create and develop plans with a team. It's a broader scope than group 3. And the paths in group 4 are effective coaching, innovative planning, and persuasive influence. The projects at the level 5 for group 4 is to do a high performance leadership project, and we call that HPL. And it might require guidance committee or an action team. So that's all of the 11 paths grouped into 4 categories. And for those of you who haven't decided which path you want, you might want to take a screenshot of this and then look at your tracking chart later on when we get into that area. Okay. So here's that grouping again, just showing you which paths are in which group. Group 1, public speaking. Group 2, light leadership. Group 3, moderate leadership. And number 4, strong leadership. And again, all of them require some public speaking. This is another chart showing basically the same grouping, but the title is slightly different. And I've given you this option because this may be more relevant to you. Public speaking would be group 1, public 2 would be small projects, group 3 would be leading teams, and group 4 would be holistic leadership. So this is just another way of presenting the paths in a group format. And this chart was developed by Mark Snow, who is from District 47. Now it's time to start planning, but before we start planning, I want to go over the tracking chart that we are going to be using. If you've had an opportunity to print it, or you can see it on your computer while you're listening, note how it's laid out. It states that all required projects in blue background are required. That's an asterisk. It says everything in blue is required. For the most part, speeches are 5 to 7 minutes, and we know that there are exceptions. And if you look at the row, if the row is completely yellow across the entire row, that's a level. If the row is partially yellow, then that's going to be your electives. And some levels do require electives. In fact, all of them have electives. But this one is showing you, even though it's persuasive influence, level 1 and level 2 are going to be exactly the same for all paths. You're required to do an icebreaker in level 1. You're required to do 2 speeches. And you're required to actually conduct an evaluation. And when you deliver an evaluation speech, a more advanced member of the club should be evaluating your speech, your evaluation speech. And then finally, in level 1, you do a researching and presenting project or a speech. The way we're going to use this tracking form is you're going to indicate by which dates you want to complete certain items, certain projects, certain speeches in the path. And in the location, if you're in one club, it doesn't matter. But if you're a member of more than one club, you may choose which club you want to complete that project. The column that says VPE is really more for someone who's using the printed format. If you are enrolled in Pathways and you're receiving the printed documents for the Pathways, then you would have your VPE sign off that you completed that project, just like we did in the legacy program. Level 2, all projects are required in level 2, and it tells you exactly what it is. You're going to understand your leadership style. You're going to learn about active listening. And you're going to be introduced to the Toastmasters mentoring. So this is basically just to show you what your tracking chart looks like. And I'm showing you persuasive influence. If you have a different one, once you get to level 3, 4, and 5, you'll have some other information. This is what the second page of persuasive influence looks like. And then this is page 3. And I want to point out that on all of your paths, on all of your tracking charts, there's going to be a statement at the very end that says, serve as topic master, Toastmaster, and speech evaluator by the end of level 3. And that is required for all paths. You must have served in these meeting roles before you move on to level 4. Now, how are you going to get this information? District 56 has a great website. There's a plethora of resources, information, and this is where you will be getting your information about your path. So you can follow along with me if you are able to, and go to toastmastershouston.com so that you can follow along. So you select menu, and we're going to education. And once you get to education, you must wait for all of the different categories within education to populate the screen before you can select which one you want. And see, that's what happens when you don't wait. So I'm going to click education and go to pathways. It is here that you're going to be spending a lot of your time learning about pathways, and we're going to be spending a lot of time in this section this evening. There are 6 buttons: Pathways Finder, Getting Started, Resources, Basecamp, Frequently Asked Questions, and Pathways Achievements. Pathways Achievements is basically a graph that shows the educational achievements in the district. And it also shows you a roster of members who have completed various paths in our district, as well as those members who have received the Triple Crown. Frequently asked questions, basically the same as it says, questions about pathways. And you can come back to this section at your leisure and look at some of the questions and get some of the answers that you may have and that someone hasn't been able to answer for you. Basecamp is of more interest to base camp managers, and base camp managers are your vice president of education, your president, and your secretary. They're the ones who approve you completing a path and entering your designation at Toastmasters International Club Central. Now, I mentioned that there are a lot of resources, and here is a listing of all the resources for pathways. They're grouped by pathways resources and pathways videos. Well, that's not coming up very quickly. There we go. And this is that same chart that I had shown you, and it is downloadable. So you can print it. It gives you a lot of other information about the path. Level 1 and 2, basically the same, and you can see an overview of what's required in each of the paths. And this is actually for all of the paths. Pathways, paths, and project catalog, that is also a downloadable file. And here's that 300 unique competencies that I believe it was Pam who indicated the link to all of the different competencies. And the competencies are listed by level. So it's a lot of information. The Pathways Navigator, that's your catalog for the Pathways Educational Program. Pathways resource folders. It is here that you can get a lot of information about pathways. You can download, you can preview. And some of the information is duplicated. So for example, here you see getting started using pathways. You'll have the same information here as well. So let's look at this one, getting started in pathways. So for those of you who have not started your pathways, feel free, come here and get started. It is a step-by-step process for you to get started in pathways. And now we're going to be looking at Pathways Finder. It is here that we're going to be spending time looking at what's available for you to plan your destination, your pathways destination. Before we start that exercise, I want to show you this chart. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is the one. This is another way to view all of the requirements in all of the levels. It's like a flow chart. Level 1 and 2, submit level 1 completion. It's a step-by-step of what happens when you've completed a level. You submit your level, it goes to Basecamp, or the level is completed in printed form. So this is another version of how to look at your path. Pathways Finder is exactly what it says. It helps you find your path. We are going to explore what is available in each path. dynamic leadership, and it says learn more. So if you're following along and if you're enrolled in dynamic leadership, go ahead and select learn more. I'm going to choose a more common path like presentation mastery, just because most members and participants are in presentation mastery. But if you're in effective coaching, you can select that one. Engaging humor, learn more. So I'm going to get to presentation mastery. Here we are, learn more. When you select presentation mastery or any other path, it's going to break down the projects by level. This is where you're going to get what I call the meat and potatoes for your path. So if you're looking at level 1, it shows you the icebreaker, the evaluation and feedback, the same information we saw before on the tracking chart. Level 2, same thing. And remember, level 1 and level 2 are exactly the same for all paths. Learning your style, understanding your leadership style, and introduction to the Toastmasters mentoring program. Now we're in level 3, and that's where I said you're going to have more detail and you're becoming more specialized in that path. So for increasing knowledge, you're going to do a project on persuasive speaking. And you're required to do 2 electives. This part, I believe, is very important because now you can decide which elective you want. Connect with storytelling. Well, what is that about? Using descriptive language. I don't know what that means. Well, the answers are right here. If you select delivering social speeches, it actually describes the purpose. It gives you an overview and what it includes. Using presentation software. That may be an elective you want to select. It addresses the use of presentation software. It gives you the purpose, the overview, and the project includes developing presentation slides. So your exercise is to now go to your path that you selected here on District 56. Select Learn More so that you can get to these buttons so that you can see what's required. If you already have your tracking chart, you should have that next to you. And guess what else you need? You need a calendar, because you can't plan unless you have a calendar. You need to know exactly on what date you want to complete this project. Now, I know life happens. This is your tool, your project, your destination, your journey for whatever goals you have. So I would like to ask for a volunteer who would like me to go ahead and walk through the path with him or her. Or if you want, I can select a path and I can walk through it with you. I'm going to check the chat right now to see if there are any questions.
The one you're on is great. If you'd like to walk through that one, I'm doing presentation mastery. Thank you.
Okay. Well, and you were the first volunteer, so why not? So you're going to tell me your dates and everything, right?
Ooh, you're going to hold me accountable.
Well, yeah.
Okay, we'll be crafting those dates right now. Let's go.
Okay, so do you want to share your screen?
Ooh, you are really okay. Hang on one second.
I'm going to stop sharing.
When you said walk through pathways, I thought you were going to tell me my requirements, not my personal screen, but that's okay. We'll do it your way. Let's do it.
I can do it that way also. I can go ahead.
It's
Okay.
absolutely fine because this
Okay,
makes
good.
me be accountable. So that's great.
Good.
Okay. Now, I will say I was going through a different way. The international Toastmasters.
No, you
What
need
was
to
that?
be in District 56, toastmastershouston.com.
Okay, I'm there.
Good.
But I signed up through the pathway for the international site. That doesn't matter, or does it?
No, we're not working with Toastmasters International. You're filling out this tracking chart to start setting some dates. This is outside of Toastmasters International.
Hey,
Okay.
Christy, I
Christy,
think
would
we
you
might
like
be
me
looking
to
at your wrong
send it to
screen.
you?
Oh, I'm sorry. What screen are you looking at?
Let me
Does it
see your
say-
email.
Oh, apologize about that. Okay, let me try it again.
You need to probably close this screen.
Yes. Huh. My apologies. All right. And here we go. That might look a little better.
Yes, that does look better. Now, do you have your tracking chart on your computer as well? I see it. That's that tab that says Pathways 11 Path and Course at the very top. Oh, no, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not it.
Okay,
when
I
were
tell you
looking-
what.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go back to District 56 website
Mhm.
and scroll down to Pathways Tracking Charts. That one, yep. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. And I believe Presentation Mastery is on the second page. So you want to scroll over. Yep, one more.
Okay. And here
There
we
it
go.
is. And now you're going to download it. And now you're going to open it. There you are.
Okay, cool. Great.
Okay. And so now you need to be able to edit this form. So is it in edit mode? Looks like it might be.
Let's test it out. If not, I can download. Doesn't look like it's editable. Gonna save it. Okay. Da.
See, and this is good because guess what? We're all learning from what you're doing and you're going to be the expert by the time this is over.
Absolutely. This is what I get for piping up, right? I don't see that it's editable. Ah,
Well, there should be a way for you to make it editable.
please be real loud. No, that won't be it. Interesting.
I believe if you close it out and then open your PDF
All right,
and
let's
open
try
the
that.
file that way.
We'll try that. And of course, that thing is always in the way up there at the top. Okay.
So you're going to go to your download files
Yes,
and open it. Yeah.
I'm doing that on my other screen. Give me
Okay.
just 1 second here. My Toastmasters guy and presentation mastery tracking.
So quick question, how did you get to this screen here? I'm actually trying to follow along as well. Just log into the Toastmasters.
Yeah, go to toastmastershouston.com. Then select education from the menu and then pathways.
Okay, I got that, yeah, Toastmasters, pathways. Then they go to the pathways funder, you said?
Pathways, yes, pathways.
Um,
Did you see pathways?
yeah, I'm under the pathways right now.
Okay, and then go to pathways tracking chart, or do you want to get a path? Which do you want, this tracking chart, or do you want to look at the information in your path?
I want to get this tracking chart because I was looking at the pathway earlier, but how to get this tracking chart?
The tracking chart is under pathways, and then go to pathways finder,
Yeah, okay.
pathways resources, and I believe it's the second statement above pathways videos.
Pathway.
And it should say pathways tracking charts.
Okay, got it. All right, cool.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you're doing great, Christy.
Okay.
And so now you need a date for when you're going to
date.
complete your icebreaker.
Okay. All right. So we will say, because my club is probably gonna merge with another club in a club for the
Okay.
time being, because we're having
Uh-huh.
some changes with our officers.
Okay.
So we'll put in 4:15 as a goal.
That's good. That's good. And so how much time do you need after that icebreaker to do your next 5 to 7 minute speech?
Which is
It's right there. Okay, you're scrolling. Okay, see where it
I'm
says
there.
evaluation and feedback?
Uh-huh.
And then the next line says evaluation and feedback number 1. So that means you're going to deliver a speech of your choice, and it's usually 5 to 7 minutes. You will be evaluated on that speech. Then you're going to deliver that same speech, but you will have made changes based on the evaluation feedback you received. Okay.
Yes.
So,
this is not
So-
happy with me. Okay.
so guys, it might be easier, and I found it easier to just print this document
Uh-huh.
and use a pencil, because then it's easier to make changes. And I don't remember the last time anyone used the word pencil. We're always doing everything on the computer.
Yeah.
But that's great that you're doing it. And any questions from our participants while Christy is filling in the information? Unmute yourself. And let's see if there's something in the chat that I need to answer.
So I'm a little confused here.
Okay.
Earlier, you were talking about like a group 1, 2, and 3. For instance, for group 1, you will have a presentation and also the other one, the
Engaging.
Yeah, engaging. So if I say I want to choose the group 1 you were talking about earlier, basically combine both presentation and engage humor. So how I use these 2 tracking chart for that?
That grouping was simply to let you know that that's a group for those paths. You don't complete those 2 paths together unless you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just showing you how 11 paths are grouped into levels of difficulty, so to speak.
I see. Got it.
Yeah. You know what, Christy, I think I'm going to take a screenshot of this and get back to you and see if you're going to really meet these deadlines. You're looking good.
Thank you. I have to admit, I'm going to have to review the pathway in depth, the descriptions, because I didn't even know evaluation and feedback. I'm glad you're doing this with me. Was an actual speech.
Yes, ma'am. And
okay,
that's true for all paths.
Okay, so everything in blue are actual speeches that
Right.
you're conducting.
And level
Got it.
1 and 2, I can't stress that enough. Levels 1 and 2 are the same in all 11 paths.
Got it. Okay. That's
Okay,
helpful.
you're looking good. Okay, let's see. Anyone else want to share what they have done? Want to share their screen? Thanks, Christy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Would it help if I showed you the path groupings again? Especially for those of you who are having difficulty deciding on which path you'd like to.
Since no one's piping up, it's Christy again.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I know you said we have to sign up to District 56. You can tell I'm extremely new to Toastmasters. Been with the Houston Club for latter part of last year, still learning. And so, as I said, I signed up for my pathway through International because that's who was sending me the communications.
Right.
And so, are you saying that they don't speak to one another, the International platform and District 56?
Correct. they are independent. Toastmasters International is the host, the platform for all of the Pathways educational programs. All clubs belong to District 56, and District 56 belongs to Toastmasters International, but the websites do not talk to each other. The exercise that you are doing is for your personal benefit, to plan how you're going to navigate your path on the Toastmasters International website. Does that make any sense?
You confused me on that last piece because
Okay.
well,
So for example, you've enrolled in Presentation Mastery at Toastmasters International, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you haven't done any projects as of yet?
No.
Correct? So on
Correct.
April 15th, you want to complete your icebreaker.
Correct.
What you need to do now is to go to Toastmasters International, log in, go to Pathways, and go through the training so that you can be ready to deliver your icebreaker speech.
Understand. Okay, so the confusing part I had was it sounded like you were saying I need to do all my education on District 56 site. District 56 site is just information.
It's a resource, correct? It's
Got
a
it.
resource, yes.
All right.
And if you saw in Pathways Finder, it also had a button for getting started. So you might find it useful to use that button to get started in your pathways
I understand.
and presentation mastery.
Thank you. Sorry to derail you.
Oh, no, you haven't. Guess what? There are probably other participants who have the same question you have.
Yeah, I do. I did get a little confused too. I wasn't sure. I pulled up District 56 and I did want to do the presentation mastery path. Let's see. Let's see here. And then I went under education. And then, let's see. I think that's where, let's see.
That's where you get to pathways.
Yeah, I got that. And then it says about us. And then it says step 1, step 2. So I go to step 1? No, or find a club. I don't need to find a club because I'm already with the club.
No, so what are you trying to do, Sinitra?
Beg your pardon?
What are you trying to do?
Well, I think I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I went to, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay, no need to apologize. So have you enrolled in a path?
No, I would like to do that tonight though.
Okay, so if you want to enroll in a path tonight, that needs to be done in Toastmasters International, which is toastmasters.org. I may have confused you, all of the participants, by telling you that you can actually start your path today, but you can't start it here in District 56. You start your path, you enroll in your path by going to toastmasters.org. If you haven't created your login on Toastmasters International, and that website is toastmasters.org, then you'll sign up, you will enroll to Pathways.
Hi, Zenia, this is Tiffany. I think one thing that would help me, because I'm fairly new too, is understanding the difference between, because I'm poking around on the site myself, understanding the relationship between Toastmasters, a district, an area, and a club. Like, is there an org chart or something that explains to me how that's organized?
I can tell you very quickly, because I don't think I can find the chart very easily. Maybe someone else, some of the experienced Toastmasters can help me find a chart and share it. But we have Toastmasters International, that's headquarters. That's the main organization. Below Toastmasters International, we have regions, and those regions are throughout the world. Below regions, you have districts. We are in region 5, and we're in District 56. Within District 56, there are 7 divisions. So this is really like a corporation, like a company. So there are 7 divisions. Within each division, we have areas. Some divisions have 4 areas, some have 5 areas, some have 6 areas. Within each area, we have clubs. And the clubs belong to an area. And you are a member of a club.
Okay, so District 56 encompasses like all of Texas, or?
I believe it's Southeast Texas.
Got it.
Because I believe there's another district, I think District 55 has another section of Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I think that just helped me put it to put it in perspective.
Into perspective, okay.
Oh, that did help. So once I go on, when I go to District 56, is that where I actually get the training for to learn how to do the icebreakers and then the evaluation speech?
You can get your training for the icebreaker on Toastmasters International once you log into Pathways.
Oh, okay. I need to log in.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Have you logged into Toastmasters International yet?
No.
Okay, it's okay. You're not the only one. Go to Toastmasters International, type in the email that you selected. And if you've never logged in, I think you have to say that you haven't logged in or you don't have a password. I forgot what the wording is. Let me see if I can I'm going to get to the website. Hold on a second. Let me just go ahead and share that.
Yeah, because I have Toastmasters.org. It's Toastmasters International, and there's a way to log in. Am I on the right screen? On the right site?
This is in my way. Hold on. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So here we are. This is Toastmasters International website. When you log in, if you have your member ID, you can type it in, or your email, but it's required. And as you scroll down, it says, forgot password if you've logged in before and you had a password. Or if you don't have an account, then you say, I'm sorry, join a club, Toastmasters member. Okay, here it is. Toastmasters members logging in for the first time, please use forgot password.
Okay.
So you would put in your email address and say forgot password. You will receive an email giving you access to Toastmasters International. And once you create your password, now you have access to Pathways. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I have to try and remember which password I have because I have so many. So once you log in, you come to Pathways. I know there's a way I can hide that. And you can choose your path right here. And there are 2 ways that you can select your path. You can go ahead and go through the exercise of doing an assessment. And based on your answers, Toastmasters will tell you which is the best path you can follow. Or you can select the path that you want based on what you know you want to do, what your goal is. Okay. I'm a member of several clubs, so it's going to show that I have multiple, but that's basically what you would do. So so the resource to help you get to this point is on Pathways Finder on District 56.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I did log into the international Toastmaster. So
Uh-huh.
I click on the pathways, and I got a question, how would you like to access your materials? I don't see the way you have here. They have showing like obtain the digital resources online, or the discount, or they say acquire printed material in the mail. So that's actually the the page I see in my login.
And that's probably because you're logging in for the first time.
Okay.
So you can log in, you can acquire your Pathways information, your Pathways education resources 2 ways, digitally or printed. The printed will cost you additional money.
Okay.
Most members are selecting digital because you'll be able to access it on your laptop, your tablet, your phone, wherever you are. And it makes it easy for you to go ahead and have access to your information.
All right.
So you'd probably want to select digital.
Okay. Then where should I go? I see after I select the digital resources, they turn to be the blue color. Then what do I need to do from material?
Okay, can you share your screen, Lee?
Sure. Yeah.
Let me stop sharing.
Sorry. That's really helpful because I would try to figure out how to do the things.
And I tell you what, hold on a second, Lee.
Yeah.
I am willing to stay on with you, but I want to make sure that members who are here, and like all good Toastmasters, we start on time, we end on time. I just looked at the time and it's 7:57. And those of you who want to stay on to see what I'm helping Lee accomplish with her Toastmasters International, you are welcome to stay. For those of you who have already obtained the information you wanted, feel free to exit. I am so glad you were able to join this session. And I'm making an assumption that I can stay on. Is that correct, Joe, that I can stay on for maybe another half an hour to help?
As long as you need.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question before we exit.
Okay, go ahead, Sandra.
This meeting.
Sure.
Is it so this project or presentation, for example, this presentation mastery pathway project tracking, can this be found on Toastmasters International too?
No, it cannot.
Oh, so that's only here. Right?
Yes, it's only available
Okay.
on District 56. Yes.
All right. Just wanted to make that clear. All
And
right,
you can
thank you.
and you will have access to any of the other tracks as well. They're
right.
all on the district website.
District. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else has any other question? Okay, Lee, go ahead and share your screen so we can see where you are.
Okay. Let me share. Share screen. One. Share. Okay. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can. Good.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I choose this one, right? So then where should I go next? Okay, how would you like? Is that where I'm going here? View all the paths?
Yes. How would you like to select your path? Meaning, do you want to view all the paths, or do you already know? You can look at the options, or you can take the assessment.
Okay, I kind of know what I want to do. So just continue.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to do that, the presentation.
Mastery. So then scroll.
Okay.
There it is.
Continue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe it's just still refreshing. It's kind of gray out.
I know, I see that. I don't know why.
Can I choose two paths? I also want to choose the.
Did you,
Oh,
were you going to say something, Fatima?
she must have already started this path.
Purchase.
Maybe
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what
her
I'm
free
thinking.
pass. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you must have already chosen presentation mastery.
Okay.
Lee.
All right. Okay. Maybe I did.
It says,
Now, did you
it says
already?
at the bottom that you're currently in progress.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know I did my icebreaker, but I really did not know how to come back and update my progress. And today, I think that the tracking chart is really helpful.
okay. So scroll up for me.
Okay, maybe I can say engage humor because I'm pretty sure that's the new one, right? So if I choose
Okay.
this one,
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like she needs to know how to get credit for the things that she's already done.
But well, before we do that, are you also wanting to enroll in your free path that's due by March 31st?
free pass. Okay.
When did you join Toastmasters?
Oh, I joined probably about a year ago.
Okay, and you renewed your membership in October, correct?
We actually just renewed recently, I think.
Mhm.
Okay, it may be that you are entitled to another path and you need to select it before March 31st.
Okay. So,
And that's why these other paths seem to be available to you.
okay. All right. So what can I do right now? So just stay in the presentation master. How do I, maybe I need to
What else would you like to,
engage,
what other goals do you have?
engaging humor?
Okay, then you can select engaging humor if you want to, and you don't have to decide right this minute, but you do need to decide by the 31st. Otherwise, you won't have access to the additional path.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll just choose these two paths, engaging humor and.
Okay, then go ahead and select engaging humor then.
Okay. So view the project in this path. Is that?
No, you just see the button at the top. It says select engaging humor, that one.
Okay.
Yep, that one, yep.
All right.
And scroll down, let's see what else happens. Continue, and I believe that might be it.
Okay.
And then it says, please confirm your selection below, continue.
Okay. Okay, so that's all.
Yep, so now you have selected two paths. And I would encourage you to visit the district website to get more resources about what to do in terms of your paths, especially the Pathways Finder. You can look at the videos that are available.
Okay.
And you can also look at the information here on Toastmasters International as well.
Okay. All
Okay.
Right. Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
So,
There's one more.
Z,
Yes, Joe.
may I suggest that she click on her name where it says welcome?
Okay. And it shows
Now
that
you
you're
see
enrolled.
you're enrolled in two paths.
Scroll up, yeah, right there.
Where do I?
We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better.
Great. So where do I update all the progress? Is there digital? Is there I can update on the website, or I have to do on that the tracking chart? On paper.
No, you're going to do it here on Toastmasters International.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? If you go to, I keep referring you back to the district website, because there's a resource there that tells you how to update and how to get credit for all of the projects you've completed.
Okay, I'll go back and grade them. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Help to get started.
Okay, you're welcome. Don't forget to log out.
Okay.
Let's see, anyone else? Sinitra?
Yeah, what I did, I was following along when you were helping her. And so I went ahead and I got my login and I've logged in, and I did choose the mastery one. That's the one that I wanted.
Okay.
So that I did that already. And I went over to, it says paths and learning, and then presentation mastery. It welcomed me and everything. And so I guess, and it says no due date, and this is my status is registered. So I guess after this, then I would go and click on open curriculum and follow the, and start, and that's where my learning begins, right?
You got it. You got it.
Now, when I do that, it's not going to give me credit on here. I have to go to District 56 and tell them that I did it to get credit.
No. That's
You only
just for
get
your
credit. You only get credit on Toastmasters International.
Oh, so I will get credit once I complete it.
Yes.
Oh, okay, because I thought I heard you say something about go to District 56 to see how you get credit. I'm like, oh, that's a good step.
No, because she was asking, how does she get credit for completing? She had already done her icebreaker. And she didn't know how to she didn't know how to show that she had already done her icebreaker on pathways.
Oh.
So I was referring her to that resource that would give her step-by-step how to get credit for completing any project in your path.
Oh, okay, because I was just going to ask Madam Toastmaster, once I do it, how do I do it? But, so that's what we do. Okay.
Yeah. District 56 website is your Bible, so to speak. That's where you can find all the information. I find it easier to follow.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyone else? Gina, question? Yvette, any question?
No, I didn't know about the District 56, so I'm glad to know about that.
Okay.
I think that's something kind of new that District 56 did that, put that on there.
It's been about 6 months.
Okay,
So
well, good. Thanks for that information.
You're welcome.
So when you go to District 56, let's see, where do you go to get, just to tell them that you completed your task?
I think maybe I'm still confusing you. District 56 doesn't need to know that you completed it.
Oh, okay.
District 56 is your resource.
It's just a resource, okay.
Yes. Toastmasters International Pathways, they need to know.
Right, and I'm in the right place for them to know.
Right. And once they know, we will know. We in the district will know, the club officer will know, everyone will know.
Okay.
But we will get it from Toastmasters International.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay.
All right, I think I'm happy now. I'm excited.
Good.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, since there aren't any other questions, I am so glad you guys are here and you were able to stay with us this evening. It didn't last as long as I thought.
Hey, thank you for taking a little extra time.
Oh, you're welcome anytime, Sinitra.
Yeah,
anytime.
So I said, since she said, I said, let me just go do it while she's doing it with Lee, and then I would know. And so I did. And sure enough, they welcomed me. I'm all set, and I'm ready to go ahead and start to do.
Okay.
So I can put today's date, I guess, or to learn my icebreaker.
Yep.
Well, that's the date you actually do it, right?
Well, that's the date you're planning to do it.
Planning to do. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll get my calendar out like you said. Well, I have my calendar already, so I can go ahead and put my dates in there. And I printed mine. I took your advice. I printed mine, and I'm using an.
I think it's easier.
It is. It's better to write with your.
Good.
And I use a mechanical pencil.
I do too. Good.
So was correct.
It's so much easier. Yes.
Yes. Yep. I got it.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Sinitra.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has brought the training to an end. And I am so glad you joined us this evening and took out an hour out of your busy schedule. Keep planning. That's the only way you'll get it done. Thank you.
Good night.
Have a
Thank you
good
so
evening.
much. You have a good night
Bye.
as well.